So hello everybody, how are you doing? We are sitting in the Q7 recent model here, and I can already spoiler that this is so refined after all these years that you really have to go to the Audi dealership and get you one of these, let's say, old Q7s or SQ7s before Audi will not bring them into the market anymore, because I think next year or something like that the successor will be coming with, of course, a different technology. You could say this interior is kind of outdated and old, but we also know this from the outgoing RS6 GT, for example, or RS6 performance models that we drove. And not only the interior works so well with the, let's say, physical buttons, the nice virtual cockpit, but also the V8 in the front is a real petrol V8 4.0 with 507 HP and I think 750 Newton meters if I'm not mistaken. Extremely well built car, extremely nice on long distance road trips, and I actually think about, let's say, this being the successor in our garage of the BMW 7 Series, because I just love it. Of course, it does not have the luxury of the 7 Series and the technology of the 7 Series, but everything else is so nice. You already heard it in the beginning, the V8 just sounds marvelous. In model year 2026, because we have the smaller turbos in the setup, not the turbos of the RS6 and the, let's say, 600 plus horsepower variants of that same engine, and that makes this sound probably the best sounding V8 that is currently on the market. Even if we specifically comparing it to the RS6 and RSQ8, I prefer this sound, but also comparing it to something like an X5 M60, which has the 4.4 liter V8, this has the nicer sound. But without further talking, you are here to not only hear the sound and my talking, but you want to see the acceleration figures. 0 to 100 on the country road first, and then later on, of course, also 100 to 200 on the clean and open Autobahn. Bear in mind, we have winter tires, so we won't do the full 250, I guess, on the Autobahn, and the traction is probably not ideal in those winter tires, but nevertheless, we want to do the test. Country road test first, 0 to 100. I had to put the race box here because the infrared, let's say, reflecting front shield is preventing the signal. Put it in dynamic, ESC Sport, and you will see in just a second how much wheel spin actually those winter tires will have. Let's see. Okay. I was talking about wheel spin, no wheel spin at all, I don't know why, but we have an uphill run, or had an uphill run, 0.8%, so the time needs to be corrected in a positive way, 4.2 seconds on the box, which should result in something like a 4.1 or whatever, almost 4 seconds dead. With winter tires, there was almost no slip at all. Wow, nice number. I guess it's time to see how fast the car goes, 100 to 200 on the Autobahn. Really looking forward to that number, if it can compete with the X5 M60, because this number is already on pair. So that was a 10.5 seconds, probably tiny bit corrected, but that's also same speed as the X5 M60, despite having less horsepower and less engine displacement. Very, very good numbers here. Limited 250, pulls very, very strong and quickly to that limited 250. Amazing stuff. So guys, I guess you have seen some very good times. Yes, it can compete with the X5 M60, the recent model with a 4.4 liter twin turbo and V8, of course, 530 HP in the X5. This old SQ7 really has a good performance. Nice sound all the way through. The gear shifts are super slick and super fast, and also the sound, of course, the exhaust makes is so great. Numbers 4.1, 4.2, 0 to 100. We were looking at mid 10 seconds, 10.5 to 11 seconds, 100 to 200, which is definitely on par with a lot more powerful cars. And I mean, considering the shape and the size of this car, this is just simply great. And yeah, makes you wonder if the car only has 500 horsepower. Yeah, really good car. I can only repeat myself from the beginning and opening of this video. Go to the dealership, test drive one of those, as the diesel, as the hybrid, as the, let's say, SQ7 model, because they're so well made and drive so good that you don't have to, let's say, that there's no issue with having more or less an older infotainment in here. Everything is rock solid, everything that you wanted from Audi, and therefore I'm really looking forward to your comments if you also consider one of those cars maybe.